Uh, you know what? The worst thing just happened to me. Um, I did not start the stream, and I was basically talking for half an hour, and I was wondering why. Like, I was wondering. I did not see that the stream was like. That's really stupid of me. I'm gonna laugh about this later, but right now, damn it. I did not start the stream. I kept it in the like testing phase, which is like a stupid mistake you can make on your first stream. Like, I guess you can make it on your second one too, but like, I don't know. It's a stupid mistake. You know, I hope that I do hope that when the stream goes online, that it's gonna show the the other part. If it doesn't, like, I don't know, it might not show like the other part that didn't get recorded, and uh, that's really frustrating. Like, it's not demotivating to me at this point, but like, I don't know. I don't know if I should repeat myself what I've been saying for the half hour just because I don't know if it's actually been recorded. Like, if it's gonna get online when I don't know if you'll be able to see it when the stream goes online as a video. If not, then I should probably repeat it, or maybe not. It wasn't really that important. Um, but as of now, I want to apologize that you had to wait for half an hour before I noticed. Um, yeah, I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. I will have to like redo all the like I'll have to repost everything just so that everybody knows that now I'm really streaming. Um, but yeah, I'm really sorry. I really am. I'm just looking at Twitter right now. I'll retweet that. I'm really sorry. Like, I know there's only one person watching right now. Hey, but I'm pretty sure there was two people before I actually started. This is really dumb because like I know there's one person now less. Um, I'm just retweeting that, and there we go. I'm really sorry, but I guess this does happen sometimes. So yeah, I guess there's no use. There's no use like crying over spilled milk, I guess. Okay, so if you have any questions, ask them. Um, and I'm just gonna quickly repeat like, okay, so you'll see that I'm taking up more space of the screen just because I was talking a lot and not really doing much last time. So this time I wanna put my face out there more prominently, so you don't have to watch on a tiny square for the whole time. Um, Also, this time I'm not drawing. This time I'm cleaning up some audio for the promos of Welcome to the H.E.R.D. And yeah, so if you have any questions, ask them in the comment. Ask them in the comments, and I'm gonna ask them. Hold on, I'm having like wow. I'm having trouble forming thoughts right now. Okay, so if you have any questions, put them in the comments, and I'm gonna answer them. That being said, I didn't talk about much stuff. Basically, I just said some stuff about the promos. I talked about excuse me. I talked about what I think about spoilers in general. Too long didn't read. I don't mind them because my brother had always told me about the movies that he saw, and so I grew up like really liking to being told what's happening. And for me, it's more the journey or the execution that matters rather than like the destination, like where we're getting in the story. Like I don't care too much about what's going to happen. I care more about how it's going to happen. If that makes sense. And yeah. So that's basically what I talked about. I probably said a couple other things too, but nothing too important. Oh yeah, I said one thing and it's loading right now. Great, everything's going wrong. So I did say one thing in terms of the Zikora episode, which I'm looking forward to because, um, yeah, I'm looking forward to that episode because I have planned something with that, which only works if a specific person will be willing to voice in it. But if they do, then that episode is gonna be great. And no, it's nobody from the show. It's just somebody who would be really, really great to have. And like especially with what I have planned, in case that person says, "Okay, I'm gonna be in Welcome to the H.E.R.D for that episode," and then it would be really great. Oh, I also talked about like fame and how I don't want it. And again, the too long didn't read. I want recognition, but I don't want to be idolized. And not to say, because now it sounds like that, not to say that I expect to be able to get to that point, but just to say I would not want to get to that point if I was able to get to that point. Like I would love to have a small community of people who look forward to watching my stuff and interacting with me, but I do not like. I don't care if like I do not care for stardom or anything like that. I think that would be too stressful, and I don't think anybody really wants that. So yeah, now you're up to speed with everything that I talked about in that half hour that you didn't get to see and may not ever get to see. We'll see how YouTube handles the stream. But yeah, again, I'm sorry if you had to wait for half an hour, even though I told you, hey, I'm streaming right now, which is definitely a fault on my part. But let's move on because, yeah, I also talked about some of the stuff in Audacity, but that's really not that interesting. So, okay, moving forward. If you have any questions, ask them. Otherwise, we'll get to talking about Welcome to the H.E.R.D. So, you can see there in the in the corner of Audacity the the file. That's the word that I couldn't think of before. File. So the name of the file is Meet the H.E.R.D Retake. As you can see, Meet the H.E.R.D are the promos. Like the promos are called Meet the H.E.R.D. There's 6 of them, one for every character, and those are the retakes that I'm cleaning up right now. Basically, I'm just removing some noise like breathing and like mouth noises that aren't supposed to be there. It's nothing big, which is why I thought this would work very well to do on the side while talking, more so than drawing, even though it's not that interesting to look at. But that's also why you see more of me in that little square. So yeah, so one thing I really like, one thing I like about Welcome to the H.E.R.D as opposed to the show, which is like a weird claim to make, but like I like how both my Trixie episode and my Gilda episode end with befriending the person that enters, like Trixie and Gilda respectively. In my version, it ends with befriending them, whereas in the original show, it weirdly ends with driving both of them away, which is super weird for like the first couple episodes in a show called Friendship is Magic that is about making friends. It's kind of weird that it's like, yeah, this show is about making friends, but only making friends with this selective small group of people, and everyone else who causes trouble is like, no, we don't want you. And then later going back on that and like, maybe we do want you. It's funny, I don't really hold it against the show. Like, especially in early episodes, you just gotta find that voice of the show. But like, it's kind of funny. And the fact that in both of those episodes, I end on a more positive note of, yeah, they're part of the team now, kinda. Like, they're not core members of the herd, but they are members of the herd. Which I find really interesting. Not to pat myself on the shoulder too hard, but can you tell I like talking about Welcome to the Herd? Yeah, I could fill literal hours with talking about it, especially if I didn't have to mind for spoilers because there's so much. But I do take I do watch out that I don't spoil anything. But yeah, let me just see on Discord if there's like, because if somebody if a friend messages me like, hey, did you know you're not streaming? I should know that, and also let them know that I'm streaming now. Just, yeah, just covering my bases. But it doesn't seem so. Hold on. Streaming right now. Okay. Yeah. So, what I had something just now. Oh yeah, right. You are probably noticing that there's not a guest, as I said. I would hopefully, like I said last time, that hopefully I would have a guest with me. That didn't work out for technical difficulties, which is unfortunate, but like it might get sorted out in the future. It probably will be sorted out in the future. So this time I don't have a guest with me, but in the future I hopefully will, which would be great. Because that person is, like, we have a great dynamic, if I do say so myself. Yeah. So I'm just on this side doing this audio editing.
Still wrong. Debatable. Because you stole my recruits.
By the way, what I really like, I guess I'd have to go on a tangent with that one. Okay, so first of all, a friend of mine who became my friend because of Welcome to the Herd and their own abridged, which I'm getting into right now. So, this person whose videos I had been watching, basically, like, okay, so when I worked on the first episode for Welcome to the Herd, I was just about working on the editing of that show when I took a break and went on YouTube. And then I saw this YouTuber whose videos I'd been watching had just uploaded a video that is basically just about, hey, I'm making an abridged of My Little Pony and it's coming out soon. And I was like, I'm working on the first episode right now, and you're telling me this person who has a lot of more subscribers, who a lot of more people know, is doing the same thing at the same time. And I'm like, oh no. It's like, what are the odds? Like, of course their abridged is gonna be the bigger hit. Of course, I'm just gonna get completely sidelined by that. Like, ah, it was frustrating. And then when the episode came out, I realized like, oh, they are kind of similar in a lot of ways. And that's exactly the reason why I rewrote my first episode. Um, but yeah, I talked to that person. I sent them a private message and I told them basically the situation. I had an abridged planned at the same time. I sent them the script, like the original script of the first episode, and I also added, I'm gonna rewrite that so that it isn't too similar. And yeah, just so they know immediately that if they are similar, and also since they're coming out around the same time, because I'm pretty sure I did that episode in like a week. Yeah, just so that person would know that I didn't just copy them. And through that we became friends. We're still friends to this day. We actually talked today, like before the stream, like not immediately before the stream, but we talked before the stream. Yeah, so their abridged unfortunately didn't get too far. Like they made, I think yeah, they're still working on the third episode, except the show is on a hiatus, which is unfortunate because it had potential. Um, but yeah, that's that's just how it goes sometimes. Yeah. Also, okay, so where am I going with this? I'm going with this exactly here, which is, okay, so I rewrote that first episode to be less similar. And even though our rainbow dashes were pretty similar, I did not change her very much because I loved that. I loved that. I will. Okay, I loved that first rainbow ass scene so much that I refused to change it. And that also a lot of the stuff that, like most of the stuff that happened from that scene on in episode 1 is still, like, I didn't rewrite that. Like a lot of the stuff, starting with the Rainbow S introduction scene, and after that, I didn't really change much. Just because with that part, I felt confident enough that it was good. But everything before that, like especially the beginning, like the first act, got heavily rewritten. And it's still garbage, but like it's less garbage than it was before, so that's good. And also I see, you know what? I should not ever acknowledge that we get a second viewer, because every time I'm about to say we get a second viewer, that viewer leaves and leaves me with like, yeah, no, there's only one person watching. Which is unfortunate, but I guess that's, I'm not gonna acknowledge it this time. You know what's happening right now, but I'm not gonna say it, because then what I just described is gonna happen. I can see it coming. Okay, so hello, thank you for joining the stream. I'm sorry if you had to wait. I did not realize I didn't go live for like, yeah, okay, and they're gone. I should not. Okay, this is the okay, I'm not ever gonna acknowledge any. Okay, yeah. This stream is getting really sad. Okay, so getting back to the story. Funny enough, that person also in their second episode, which I released before them, we worked on it around the same time, but I released my second episode before them. And we made the same joke at the same point in the episode. which is like the part where it's like Applejack is proving her that she's the element of honesty in that landslide, where she's like telling Twilight to let go, and when she's going for Twilight, we both of our bridges, coincidentally, but maybe not that hard to imagine because our rainbow dashes are pretty similar in concept. Like, we had the same joke of, hang on, I'm coming, that's what she said. Which is like, we had that exact same joke, which was so funny to us because, listen, that person made a reaction video to my second episode before their second episode was finished. And so when they got to that part, they were like, hold on, I made that same joke. And put in their scene, which has the same joke, which they had already like edited and everything. Like that was so funny. Like, oh my god. And where I'm going with this is so I don't that was definitely not on purpose. What I'm about to say was not on purpose, definitely, but I could probably pretend, or like I could probably pretend like it was something like happening on a subconscious level, but like there's parallels between their abridged and my abridged, like the entire existence of them and coming out at the same time. There's parallels between that and and the dynamic between Purple Star and General Weirdness, which is basically the same thing of like, I swear I did not do that on purpose, but it's like basically the same thing. Purple Star, someone with no experience, is basically like, okay, I want to do what a lot of people have tried, and I want to do it really good. And I'm gonna do it. And I'm doing it right now. Fuck, somebody else just started doing it, and they're better, and they have more experience. Oh no, what am I supposed to do? And like, it's basically the same story right there, but I did not plan that. That just happened somehow, and I realized that it did later. So not right away, but like, okay, I'll need to check something real quick. Okay. Okay, hold on. I need to. Okay. Okay. So. Yep. Oh, cool. Okay. So yeah, that was basically where I was going with that story. Yeah. So. I could probably, because this is sort of getting, like, this is sort of related to that, I could probably talk about the fact that Welcome to the H.E.R.D is not the first abridged, like, it's not my first attempt at an abridged, but it's the only one that ever got an episode made. Yeah, so I had like, I don't remember. I only remember the last draft I had before. Like, I only remember the abridged that I tried to do before Welcome to the H.E.R.D. I know there's a Pokemon abridged that I attempted and gave up very early. And I know that even before that, I had at least one other attempt at an abridged. But I do not remember anything from that one. But I do remember the one that I did before Welcome to the H.E.R.D. And it is a stupid concept. So I'm not even sure if I should talk about it, because it's really a dumb concept. And when I showed the concept to a friend who I wanted to voice in it, and they pointed that out to me, and I was like, you know what? You're right, that's really stupid. I shouldn't do that. But yeah, like, I don't remember anything about the writing anyway, just the just the premise. And it's a stupid premise. But I guess there was always this idea of a group of, like, basically a fighting group or like, basically imagine the elements of harmony, but like in an army setting, but not always. It wasn't always an army setting, but it was always like a combat group with powers based on elements, which I guess then later shaped into Welcome to the H.E.R.D. But yeah. So I'm really glad. I'm really glad. I'm really happy with what I ended up with. Like Welcome to the H.E.R.D. I really like that premise. I think it's really unique. I think that, like, even outside of My Little Pony, there's definitely a story that could be told with that. Like the idea of, I guess it has similarities to Classroom Assassination, which I have not read or watched. But like, as far as I understand, the premise of Classroom Assassination is that there's this like alien who blew up part of the moon, and that alien is now the teacher of a class, and that class has to try and kill him before he blows up Earth. I think that's the premise of Classroom Assassination. And there's definitely similar idea, like there's definitely parallels in that premise to Welcome to the H.E.R.D. In that basically it's about a bad ruler who is so bad that from the existence of that ruler, a culture emerged of trying to kill and replace that ruler. And I really like that idea of such a culture that is based around impeachment and dethroning and all of that stuff. I really like that idea because it's like, it's not really anarchy, because it's a specific code, and they're directly replacing the ruler with the person who killed them. So it's not really anarchy, but it's sort of similar, and I really like that. I think there's a lot that can be done with that premise, and I think that's an interesting world to explore. So even outside of My Little Pony, I really think I have something there, which I really like. Yeah. Hold on, I'll be right back. I got a message. I'm sorry that I'm on the phone so much, but I'm really trying to get the most out of the streaming. So I'm constantly like trying to retweet and everything. So yeah. My last stream definitely went better, but that's also because I wasn't like not streaming for half an hour before noticing, which is stupid. Which was stupid of me. But I mean, it's fine. It's not that much of a problem. So I guess you win some, you lose some with your streams, and I guess like it's the 27th. People are still like celebrating, I assume. Like most people probably don't have time. But yeah. So in case, because I don't know right now, but in case anybody new just joined, hello. If you have any questions, you can put them in the chat and I'll read them and I'll answer them. But other than that, I'll talk about Welcome to the H.E.R.D, my abridged series, and also on the side just clean up some audio for the next Welcome to the H.E.R.D project, which is some promos. Yeah. So let's see, what else could I talk about? Excuse me. What else could I talk about? I have talked about Welcome to the H.E.R.D and what I had before it. There's not much I can tell without like making people mad, because like the premise before was really bad. But let's see. So when it comes to, I guess I could talk about my little karaoke, since I'm also doing a lot of those videos recently. I definitely do plan to make more of those, because they seem to be getting a positive response. Uh, they seem to be viewed um, a lot, like in context of what I usually get in views, which honestly surprises me because for the longest time I was so insecure with my own voice, like my singing voice. Um, I guess being in the school band definitely helped with that confidence, and also like live performing through that school band. But wow, it was definitely a really hard way, like getting there. Funnily enough, that was also all happening around the same time that I was working on episode 6, which might like which might be subconsciously reflected in the struggle that Slave is going through in that episode, with like, I really want to sing, but like, Purple Star tells me I suck at singing and that I shouldn't talk. That's basically his struggle in that episode. But he does eventually get there, even though, okay, so basically so he doesn't get to sing, but the singing really is more of a byproduct of another struggle that is going on that does get resolved in that episode. So that's great. And if I ever get to the episode with if I ever get to the episode The Times They Are a Changeling, then you can bet Slave is gonna get his own song, which is, I'm looking forward to that, even though it's so far in the future that it seems unrealistic to even think about it. But if I do ever get there, then I will definitely have a Slave song, which sounds out of context really bad. Like, yeah, a Slave song that out of context, that sounds really bad. Yeah. Anyway, I've said it before, Slave is one of my favorite characters just because he's so adorable, even though it's so hard to not make fun of him. Like, it's really hard. But I said it last time, I always try to when I'm making fun of him, I'm making fun of him through other characters and not through the universe, which a lot of other people would do in MLP related content. Like, basically the whole universe would hate Spike. But my Spike character, Slave, I don't want him to be hated by the entire universe. I just want him to be I just want him to be underappreciated. But he'll definitely be able to work through that. Unlike in other bridges where he's just I guess there's nothing that could be done about it. He's definitely capable of doing some great things, but he's just underappreciated. That's his problem, which is also Spike's problem in the actual show. So yeah, that's he was underappreciated for a long time. That's definitely. I mean, Spike's a great character. He just suffered a lot under. I don't really want to call it bad faith writing, but a lot of the first half of the show was really not in his favor rating wise. Especially somebody once pointed it out. I don't know who it was. Some analyst who pointed out every Spike centric episode in the first couple seasons was just him being the problem and the other characters coming in to resolve that problem, which really sucks in a way. Especially if it always happens. Every episode that was centric on him, it wasn't him having a problem, it was him being the problem, and other characters had to stop it, which is, yeah, that does suck. So he had definitely been underappreciated for a long time. Luckily, the second half mostly handled him very well, which I really like because, especially the last couple seasons, like, I think this is not really Welcome to the Herd related, but yeah, I really appreciate specifically what they did with him in the last couple seasons with Big Macintosh and Discord. Like, that is a super great dynamic, and I love that they're like basically developing that through multiple episodes. I really like that, and you definitely see in the finale, like, when Discord is there and Spike is also there, you just see that they have this sort of implied dynamic which you've seen in other episodes, which is really great. So yeah, I really like that. And yeah, Spike is a great character. Another character that is, in my opinion, suffering a lot from, I don't want to say bad writing, but for the sake of argument, let's just call it bad writing, even though it's just that a lot of them don't understand the character. But Rainbow Dash suffers a lot from bad character writing, like more than any of the other main characters. It's just unfortunate because it gives people a lesser view of her as a character, just because, I mean, you have episodes where she's handled really well, but then you also have episodes where she's just a jerk or oblivious or an oblivious jerk, and it's really hard to root for her in those cases. And that's really a problem in a lot of the episodes that center around her or center around her and another character. And yeah, you also get that a lot with Applejack, which is, I feel bad for Ashley Ball because her characters, like, they get a lot of bad representation in their character writing a lot of the time. I'm not gonna pretend like it's easy to write them, but I really feel like they haven't been represented in the best light. Let's call it that. Yeah, so that is bad. Like, you know, all of my least favorite episodes. It's weird. Okay, so I have 3 episodes of the show that I consider my least favorite. One of them is a Rainbow Dash centric episode, one of them is an Applejack centric episode, and one of them is an episode that is about both of them. Which really tells you something about how these 2 characters are written, because I do not hate these characters. I do not even dislike these characters. I like both of them a lot. They just don't have the best episodes a lot of the time. Like, they do get some really great episodes, but they also get some bad episodes, which is just unfortunate. But moving on. I've been talking about that for a while now. Moving on. So, okay. Welcome to the Herd. Let's see. Oh, also, I should probably show that again since I didn't before. This is a little. This little guy was a Christmas gift by my brother. Yeah, there he is, in all his glory. He's for, like, these phone slash controller holders. That's this little guy right here. So yeah, I showed him before when I didn't realize that I was not streaming. So I thought I should show him again, just in case. So I'll probably end the stream soon because right now I don't have a lot to talk about, and I talked a lot in my last stream, so that's probably the reason. There hasn't been a lot that has happened since then in terms of Welcome to the Herd. There has been a lot that has happened, but, like, as I said before, I really would prefer to keep off-topic conversations as much to when I'm being asked about it specifically as possible. So yeah, if you want to know anything about me specifically, or anything that has nothing to do with Welcome to the Herd, or is only tangentially related, put that in the chat. But otherwise, I feel like I should stick to Welcome to the Herd. Um, you know what? I guess I'm gonna go like a full hour and then I'm gonna stop. Or maybe I'm gonna maybe I'm gonna stop screaming a little bit earlier, but I guess I should stream for at least 10 more minutes, or maybe 5 more minutes. So yeah, okay, so yeah, I'm gonna stream for 5 more minutes. Let's say that. If you have any questions in those last 5 minutes, put them in the chat. If you don't, then just, I guess, listen for the last 5 minutes as I try to fill those 5 minutes. I really don't want to end the stream abruptly, but I feel like I don't really have the momentum that I had in the last stream. Probably because I have talked about a lot of the basic things. So yeah. I definitely do think that questions would help a lot. So I guess what I could do is yeah, you know what we're gonna do? You should follow me on Twitter, and if you have any questions outside of my streaming time, you can ask them. Let's say under the hashtag H.E.R.D stream. So I'll just write it into the chat. Hashtag H.E.R.D stream. Yeah, so if you have any questions, tag me under that hashtag. On Twitter, my Twitter is Jumpy Studios, like at Jumpy Studios, the same. It's spelled the same way as my channel. You could also follow me while you're there, but like, yeah, any questions outside of the time that I'm streaming, you can put there. And if I get any, or like, I'm gonna read them in my next stream, which is probably gonna be next week, same time, except that time I'm gonna actually stream from the beginning and not just talk for half an hour before I realize I'm not streaming. Yeah, I really feel that like that's taken a lot of the momentum this week, so that's unfortunate, but there's not really much I can do about it now. Next week is definitely gonna be better. So, yeah, follow me on Twitter. Send me questions under the hashtag #HeardStream. Also, if you like what I'm doing for some reason, consider supporting me on Patreon. Also, Jumpy Studios. The link is in any of my videos, so you can just, or even on my Twitter account, you can see it there. You can go there. You can support me on Patreon. And I guess if you haven't subscribed to my channel, and maybe leave a like. I don't know why you would leave a like on this stream specifically, but like, yeah. Yeah, also, if you haven't and somehow are in this, like, if you somehow are in this stream and haven't watched Welcome to the Herd yet, please do. Like, I do recommend it, even though I cannot fully recommend it because it's not that great, but it is good enough that I could recommend it. Let's be honest. I think I can give myself that much credit. So yeah, I guess that's everything. So with that being said, thank you for watching, and see you hopefully next week, same time. So yeah, thank you, and bye.